Secretary Kennedy, you run a department that touches the lives of almost every American. Yet for this budget hearing, these are the 6 pages that we have gotten in terms of your budget request. We are also 7.5 months into this fiscal year, and yet you are not telling the American public anything about how you are spending the billions in taxpayer dollars right now. You had to submit an operating plan to the Congress, and this is just a sample page, but 530 programs simply have asterisks. Secretary Kennedy, this isn't about your hiding information from me. This is about your hiding information from the American public. And if you're going to cut cancer research or gut mental health...
Okay, pause. This isn't just a bureaucratic blunder. If taxpayer-funded programs like cancer research and mental health are on the chopping block, we need transparency. Would you be okay with a 6-page explanation for billions of dollars? Yeah, didn't think so. Let me know in the comments. Should agencies be required to give detailed public disclosures before they make cuts?
I'd like to know why your department has effectively shut down the very program to address lead poisoning in children. The city of Milwaukee requested assistance from the CDC to help the city respond to lead poisoning cases tied to public schools. 6 schools have been closed, displacing more than 1,800 school children. The request for federal assistance was denied because of lack of staff. The entire childhood lead poisoning branch has been fired. In the words of a Milwaukee mom, it really sends a message of, you don't matter. I don't know what you would say to parents who must now test their children for lead and deal with school closures. But do you intend...
This is where the stakes get real. We're not talking abstract policy. We're talking real children in Milwaukee getting lead poisoning, schools shutting down, and the federal response being, we don't have staff. Here's a legal twist. Under federal law, agencies can't just eliminate public health protections without justification. So firing an entire lead poisoning unit? That might not just be bad optics, it could be unlawful.
I'm there to pick up the phone, and it's not because this program is ineffective, it's because you fired the entire team whose job it is to support communities like Milwaukee.
If that money has been appropriated, we will spend that money. If it's been appropriated to Milwaukee, we will spend it in Milwaukee. I've spent a lot of time in Milwaukee
It's
working
to provide
on that
expert, and the entire staff has been fired. Secretary Kennedy, I did note in your opening testimony, although we wouldn't know it from the skinny budget that we have, that you plan on funding the Head Start program. But I want to tell you about the ramifications of what has happened to date with regard to Head Start. I've heard from families across the state, people who are terrified about the uncertainty and instability surrounding Head Start. Just 1 week into President Trump's administration, Head Start programs in Wisconsin suddenly couldn't access their grant funding. It forced one Head Start in Waukesha, Wisconsin, to temporarily close, leaving 250 families without care. Over the last 4 months, HHS has provided roughly $1 billion less to Head Start programs across the country than during the same period last year. The delays in funding have exacerbated uncertainty for programs needing to make payroll. And in some instances, like the one I cited in Waukesha, programs have had to shut their doors until the payments came through. Now, I don't know what you would say to a parent who is unable to drop their child off at preschool because you failed to get already appropriated money out the door. Or maybe I should ask you, what would you say to a parent who shows up for child care or for Head Start and the doors are closed?
I would be very sad if...
And there it is, the heartbreak moment. Imagine being a parent showing up to a preschool only to find the doors locked because funding delays stopped payroll. A billion-dollar gap in early childhood education isn't a rounding error, it's a system failure. But here's a big question for you. Should Congress have more power to enforce how agencies spend already appropriated funds? Or does that blur the line of executive oversight? Drop your thoughts below.
Well, I can tell you that within the agency, there were, there were people who wanted to make the Trump administration look bad, and that there were checks held up that shouldn't have been. I will have to look into that, Senator.